Welcome to this module on working memory and the context window, one of the most important concepts for anyone working with generative AI. Have you ever had an experience where an AI assistant seemed to understand everything perfectly at the beginning of a conversation, but later started forgetting important details, or gave responses that felt disconnected from earlier instructions? If so, you've experienced the effects of the AI's context window, also known as its working memory. Understanding how this works will help you structure conversations, manage long documents, and get consistently better results from AI tools such as Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Let's explore what the context window is, why it matters, and how you can use it effectively. What is the context window? Think about your own working memory. When solving a problem, you can actively keep only a limited amount of information in your mind at one time. AI works in a similar way. Every AI model operates within a fixed workspace called the context window. This context window contains everything the AI is paying attention to during a conversation. This includes your prompts and instructions, previous messages, uploaded documents, examples you've shared, feedback you've provided, AI's earlier responses. Everything exists inside a single working area. The AI can only use information that fits within this space when generating its next response. Understanding the size limit. One important characteristic of the context window is that it has a finite size. It is not unlimited. As conversations become longer or as more documents are added, the available space gradually fills up. Eventually, when the context window reaches its limit, older information begins to drop out. In most cases, the oldest content disappears first. This happens automatically. The AI usually does not notify you. The conversation continues, but important information may no longer be available to the model. This can sometimes create the impression that the AI is forgetting instructions or becoming inconsistent. In reality, the information may simply no longer be inside the active context window. Why AI doesn't remember everything forever? Many users assume that AI remembers every interaction indefinitely. However, by default, most AI conversations are independent sessions. When you start a new chat, previous conversations are typically not available. Earlier instructions are forgotten. Prior context disappears. The AI essentially starts fresh. Some platforms offer additional features such as memory, projects, workspaces, saved instructions, organizational knowledge bases. These features allow certain information to persist across sessions. However, without such features, each new conversation starts with a clean slate. The capability zone. Just like other AI properties, working memory exists on a spectrum. When the amount of information comfortably fits inside the context window, the AI operates within its capability zone. In this zone, the AI can effectively understand instructions, follow constraints, use uploaded documents, remember recent decisions, maintain consistency, adapt to your preferred style. For example, if you upload a short style guide and ask the AI to write a proposal in that style, it can immediately adapt because that information easily fits into its working memory. This is one of AI's greatest strengths. The limitation zone. Problems begin to appear when conversations or documents become extremely large. As more information enters the context window, important details may receive less attention. Eventually, the system approaches what we call the limitation zone. Unlike some AI limitations that appear gradually, working memory often behaves differently. Tends to work extremely well until it suddenly doesn't. Think of it as a cliff rather than a gentle slope. Everything seems fine until critical context begins to disappear. When that happens, you may notice forgotten instructions, repeated questions, missing details, inconsistent responses, decreased output quality. Understanding this limitation helps explain why even advanced AI systems sometimes lose track of earlier decisions. The lost in the middle effect. Research has shown another interesting behavior called the lost in the middle effect. When information is placed inside a very long document or conversation, content located in the middle often receives less attention than information near the beginning or end. Imagine uploading a 100-page document. The AI may be more likely to notice information on page 1, information on page 100, while paying less attention to details buried deep within the middle sections. This doesn't mean the information is completely ignored. However, it may have less influence on the final response. That's why document structure matters. Benefits of working memory. When used effectively, the context window provides significant advantages. Rapid adaptation. AI can immediately adjust to brand guidelines, writing styles, company terminology, project requirements, without needing retraining. Personalized outputs. More relevant context produces more relevant responses. The more AI understands your task, audience, and objectives, the more tailored the output becomes. Better collaboration. Working memory allows AI to build upon earlier interactions within the same session, creating a more natural collaborative experience. How AI platforms extend working memory. To overcome context limitations, modern AI platforms introduce additional capabilities. Memory features. These allow important facts and preferences to be remembered across conversations. Project workspaces. Documents can remain accessible without repeated uploads. Conversation summarization. Older interactions can be condensed into summaries to free up space while preserving key information. Multi-agent architectures. Different AI agents can focus on separate tasks while maintaining specialized contexts. Larger context windows. Newer AI models continually expand the amount of information they can process at once. While these innovations help, context limitations still exist and should be managed thoughtfully. Signs you're reaching the context limit. There are several warning signs that indicate the context window may be reaching its capacity. Watch for situations where long conversations begin losing consistency. The AI forgets earlier instructions. Important details stop appearing in outputs. The AI repeats previously answered questions. Large documents produce incomplete summaries. Earlier decisions seem ignored. When these symptoms appear, the issue may not be a lack of intelligence. It may simply be a working memory limitation. Best practices for managing context effectively. Here are some practical techniques for working within AI's memory limits. Lead with important information. Place critical instructions near the beginning. Don't bury key requirements deep inside long documents. Break large tasks into sections. Instead of processing a large report all at once, divide it into smaller parts. Review each section individually before combining results. Use persistent features. Take advantage of projects, workspaces, memory settings, knowledge repositories. Whenever available, refresh conversations. If output quality starts declining, don't keep forcing the conversation forward. Start a new chat and provide a concise summary of the important context. In many cases, a fresh conversation produces significantly better results. Reiterate critical instructions. For long collaborative sessions, occasionally restate important goals, constraints, and expectations. This helps keep them visible inside the active context window. Connecting working memory to AI fluency. Understanding working memory directly supports the description competency. Everything you tell AI, instructions, requirements, constraints, examples, preferences, must remain inside the context window to influence the AI's behavior. If important information falls outside the active window, AI can no longer reliably use it. This is why well-structured prompts, clear summaries, and thoughtful conversation management are so important. Conclusion. Let's recap. The context window is the AI's working memory. It contains everything the AI is actively considering while generating a response. Key takeaways. White heavy checkmark. The context window has a fixed size. White heavy checkmark. Long conversations and large documents can fill it up. White heavy checkmark. Older information may be removed when limits are reached. White heavy checkmark. AI typically does not warn you when this happens. White heavy checkmark. Information in the middle of long inputs may receive less attention. White heavy checkmark. Starting a new chat with a concise summary can often improve results. White heavy checkmark. Effective context management leads to better collaboration and more reliable outputs. Remember, AI can only work with the information it currently has available. The better you understand its working memory, the better you'll be able to structure tasks, manage long conversations, and consistently achieve high-quality results. Understanding the context window turns what often feels like unpredictable behavior into something much more understandable and manageable, making you a more effective and confident AI collaborator.